We are live. Moderators, we are live.
Okay, then we can start, right?
Over to you, Pritam. Please introduce the Socratic dialogue.
This is getting recorded. Hello.
Yes, Pritam, could you please start it? We are live. It's being streamed on YouTube.
Okay. So, hello everybody. So, welcome to today's Socratic dialogue session, and our topic is philosophy. So, without wasting any time, I would like to uh, invite you all to introduce yourselves.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Dhruv from Team Truth Finders. I'm a data champion at UBL.
Hello, I'm Mahak, currently working as finance intern with Deep Thought, representing Truth Finders.
I'm currently working with the GRS lab in Deep Thought.
Hi everyone, I'm Darshana Adam. I'm a UI UX designer at Deep Thought, and today I'm coach for Team Truth Finders.
Hi everyone, I am Dalia Singh. I am working with BGC Lab at Deep Thought and I'm from Team Mindframe.
Hi everybody,
everyone.
I'm Shubhadeep Ghosh from HGR Lab and I'm working as a
Hi everyone, I'm Janvi Shukla and I'm working as a data analyst in Deep Thought and I'm part of the team Mindframe.
Hi everyone, I am Simran. I am working as an industrial psychologist in Deep Thought and I am the coach for Team Mindframe.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarveshwar Kaur and I'm a co-moderator for today and I'm a UI UX designer at Deep Thought.
Hi everyone, I am Pritam Chakraborty, and I am a software developer, and I am currently moderating this software dialogue session. So, which one of you will want to go first?
We can go first.
Okay, thank you,
Team
Team Truth Finders. Yeah, so would you like to explain why you selected this name?
Because we are seeking deeper knowledge by questioning and testing assumptions that we make on a daily basis.
Yeah, that sounds an interesting name. So I would like you to summarize your pitch in 1 or 2 lines.
So basically, philosophy helps us question what we know, how we know it, and why it matters. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, Team Truth Finders, you can start your pitch. And always remember to keep it short and within 3 minutes of time.
So philosophy isn't just an abstract thinking, it's a deep dive into how we understand the world. It asks, how do we know what we know? It connects science, maths, and everyday life. While science gives us facts and maths gives us structure, philosophy gives us helps us think what those facts really mean. It helps us stop and ask, is this really true? Why do we believe this? By questioning things we often take for granted, philosophy helps us grow. It doesn't give us final answers, but it teaches us how to think more clearly and ask better questions. When we talk about proof, it means different things in different areas. In maths, it means proof is about absolute geometric proof. Uh, is absolute certainty. For example, once a geometric proof is done correctly, it's true forever. It doesn't change. But in science, proof works differently. It's not about finding a final truth. Instead, it's about testing ideas and seeing if they could be wrong. Philosopher Karl Popper said that a good scientific theory should be something that we can test and possibly prove wrong. Over to Mehak.
When it comes to choosing models, we follow Karl Popper's approach, asking the key questions and looking for risky predictions. A good model should be testable, meaning we can design experiments to verify its validity. It must have predictive power, Flexibility is the key. It should adapt as new evidence emerges. Lastly, we consider its scope. Does it apply broadly or only to specific cases? By evaluating these factors, we ensure our models are both reliable and effective. Moving forward to how Popper transformed philosophy. Karl Popper changed the way we think about science. Instead of proving things right, he focused on finding mistakes and fixing them. He believed no theory is final. Everything should be tested and questioned. What was his big idea? Truth. Isn't what we prove once, but what survives many attempts to prove it wrong. This way, science keep improving and moving forward. Over to Anushree.
Abstraction drops messy details while keeping core patterns, like modeling cities as dots on a map. It simplifies complexity, enables generalization, and supports scalable reasoning. Moving to understanding models in the context of knowledge. Models simplify reality but comes with assumptions about reducibility, objectivity, and predictability. We can use them for short-term predictions where foundations are transparent. But questioning models with opaque algorithms, that's tricky. Now, I would like to conclude this by saying that philosophy isn't just about finding answers, it's about asking better questions. It guides human thought by challenging assumptions and refining understandings. Thank you.
Okay, team truth finders. That was a very good pitch. So we are now open to I would like to invite Team Mindfriend to start the Socratic question.
So in choosing models the proper way, you mentioned look for risky predictions. What did that mean?
It means like a good model should be precise and testable. We can understand by an example, like if a weather forecast says that it will be raining tomorrow at 3 p.m. So it's a risky prediction. And if doesn't and if it does not rain at the same time or place, the model is proven wrong. But if the weather forecast tells that it might rain tomorrow, the model is too vague and it's useless to prove it.
Does that answer your question, Janavi?
Okay, I
Any
have
more
another
follow-up
question.
question? Yeah, please ask.
Okay, so you mentioned that in the scientific revolution, he focused more on eliminating the errors rather than proving the truth, right? So, how exactly eliminating errors is going to prove something? Like, how is it better than proving the truth?
Can you repeat?
Uh, Eliminating errors just help us to reduce the data and focus on what's important, what's relevant to our theory, to the things that we are going to prove. If we will eliminate the errors, then there are less chances of making risky predictions. And that's what the Popper's theory states.
But doesn't it already comes in the abstraction process?
Abstraction is based on it, like removing the errors. That's the same philosophy we use for extraction as well.
Okay.
Any more follow-up questions?
How can philosophy help in scientific experiments? Like, how can it remove the abstractionism from there?
Would you like to answer that?
Philosophy, and I'll answer. Philosophy often helps us, like mentioned earlier. It helps us question assumptions we make, clarifying concepts. You always try to question anything we might see. So that's how it helps us sharpen and build more resilient theories, I guess.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we are closing the questioning session. Now I would like to invite Team Mindframe. So why do you why have you named your team like Team Mindframe?
Okay, hi everyone. So we named our team as Mindframe as it reflects the essence of our pitch. So the ability to reframe problems, question assumptions, and construct thoughtful mental models to navigate some uncertainty is the reason why we named our team as Mindframe.
Okay, that sounds a good reason. So I would like to invite you to pitch, and please summarize your pitch in 1 or 2 lines on what you are speaking.
So, so today's pitch highlights the role of philosophical thinking in business leadership. By applying philosophy, leaders achieve breakthrough innovations, strategic clarity, and ethical decision making. So the core takeaway is philosophy helps leaders to rethink problems and not just solve them.
Creative Mindframe, you can start your pitch.
Okay. So, so let's start with the pitch. So why do we need philosophy? So in today's fast-paced business environment, philosophy offers a critical framework for questioning the underlying assumptions that influence on decisions. So by adopting philosophical mindset, leaders can foster breakthrough thinking, ethical leadership, and strategic clarity. For instance, Amazon's day one philosophy emphasizes a culture of curiosity and continuous questioning, which leads to sustained innovation and growth. Next slide. So, can we prove everything from philosophy? Philosophy teaches us that proof is often a model dependent or conditional part. In business, this insight encourages leaders to recognize that data can guide decisions, but many not guarantee outcomes. A prime example is Apple, where Steve Jobs launched the iPhone not based on market research data, but based on trusting his human intuitions and understanding the customer needs. This approach highlights the importance of questioning traditional notions of proof in order to drive innovation. Over to Dalia.
So constructing reality through models. All models, including business strategies and forecasts, are simplified representations of reality. Leaders construct these models to navigate complex markets effectively. So Tesla's innovative approach, led by Elon Musk, demonstrates this principle. He integrated technology, ethics, and market dynamics to create a new reality for electric vehicles. Next slide. Models and philosophical evolution. Philosophy evolves by continuously questioning and refining existing models. Great leaders understand the need to adapt and reinvent their approaches in response to changing environments. Microsoft's transformation under Satya Nadella illustrates this by rethinking its outdated software licensing model and embracing a cloud-first strategy. So Microsoft successfully navigated industry shift. Over to Janvi.
Abstraction allows leaders to focus on critical decision making elements while remaining mindful to human and ethical factors. A great example would be of Starbucks, where they highlighted the balance between scalability and authenticity in effective leadership. When we come to the models in the context of knowledge, philosophy urges to revisit our assumptions about knowledge. So, what successful leaders embody is the humility and adaptability, refining their models as needed. We can take the example of Netflix evolution, where they focused on the question of what business were they exactly really, and that helped them to evolve in the entertainment industry. To conclude my pitch, philosophy is not about final answers. It is less about finding definite answers and more about fostering a culture of inquiring and learning. Basically, asking why we have the particular thinking that we have and why we have those assumptions by questioning it. And by embracing this mindset, leaders can achieve ethical leadership and strategic clarity.
That was a great pitch, team mind frame. Team truth finders, would you like to ask them questions for the pitch?
Yeah, hi. I'd like to ask one question. In your pitch, you said philosophy nurtures breakthrough thinking. How exactly does it do that?
Yeah, I would like to answer that. So, see, when we question things deeply, like when we question why we do what we do, it enables us to critically analyze things, analyze our statements, and thus enabling a breakthrough thinking. So, it basically helps in critically analyzing our statements. So, that is how.
Truth, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Truth finders, more questions you want to ask them?
I would like to ask the question. As the team mentioned, that the business owners who are based on who follow the philosophies, they should not get attached to the old models. But how can they ensure like they're not losing their core values that help them to come in the limelight or make their business grow?
Okay, I would like to answer that question. So, as we told that some of the businesses like Apple introduced the iPhones with an intuitive mindset, not predicting the market data. It's important to predict a new thing to develop a new innovation, as we all cannot rely on the information and data we every time get, because it only gives us some stat and it doesn't gives us that it will work efficiently and with 100% efficiency. So sometimes trying some new ways is productive, can be productive for a company or a business to work.
Does that answer your question, Anushri?
Yes, but I would like to ask a follow-up question. How can we like ensure that the core values are not lost of the company?
I think the core values will not be lost because if Apple would not have had that leap of faith and tried to do something else based on their intuition and would have just followed the industry as everyone was doing, they would not have even developed their core values, right? They are the ones who are standing above everybody else, that just because they took a different approach to it and went through their intuitions rather than just following the guideline that everyone else was following.
And also, I would like to add that we are like refining the procedures with the new environments, right? We are not changing the core values. The core values are the same, but the procedures and the strategies are refined and adapted to the new environments.
Yeah, Anushri.
Yes, I got.
Okay. Truth finders, more questions you want to ask them?
Yeah. How does philosophical thinking help in strategic agility in business?
Team mind frame, who would like to answer that question? I'd request anyone from team mind frame to please answer that.
Can you please repeat your question?
Yeah. How does philosophical thinking help in strategic agility in business?
I think, as we already mentioned, that philosophy alone won't help in framing the strategic agility. But when we combine with the other factors that we mentioned, that the adaptability and keeping the core values to it, and trying a different approach, like day one value of the Amazon in the best example was the Netflix one, where they asked why, in which business are we exactly in. So that kind of thinking in the philosophy is what helped them to change, right? So that is how they then we practice this kind of philosophical thinking along with all the factors that we mentioned. It would definitely help in creating the strategic agility.
Dhruv, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Team Truth Finders, would you like to proceed with more questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Like you said, the proof is model dependent. So, but what if the model is flawed? It is false. So, how would business leaders rely on that model?
So
Yeah, I would
models,
like to answer that question. I would like to answer that question. So as we told that models only gives us a strategic data and couldn't predict that it would guarantee us an outcome. So as I told that some examples were there where inclusive thinking or some new tryouts helps the companies to boost their economy, boost their performance. So that's why sometimes it could be there that models could fail, but we can rely on them as they have given us some productive outcomes in the past. But we also can try out some new frameworks and new presentations so that we can get to a better involvement of the company.
I would like to add that we basically meant was that proof is model dependent and conditional in business. Because in business, what the leaders learn that data can guide. They go through the data, and so there's a very, not, I would say very less chance, but there is a high chance that the model would be the correct thing, because there are datas and everything that they are dependent upon, and there are conditions that they are working on. It's not just philosophy, there is data and structure also.
Mehak, does that answer your question? Okay. More questions for a team mind frame? Do we have more questions for them? Team Truth Finders?
We will conclude that.
Okay. So if no one has any more questions, we can conclude with 3 reflections from everyone. I'd encourage everyone to ask more questions, Truth Finders, for them.
Okay, I can ask one. Um, why should you what's the reason behind questioning all the assumptions you make behind business models?
Uh, it's important because, as we already said, that in all the examples that we mentioned, there was always someone that was answering that, as like challenging that predefined assumptions, right? Like in the Satya Nadella example, we mentioned that he challenged the whole software. Why are we using this? Why don't we take another step towards it and change it? And that is what led to the growth of these organizations. In the same way, we mentioned when the Starbucks model was like when they thought of scalability, that is when their product actually, their organization actually thrived. When Howard Skull abstracted the Italian cafe culture in the Starbucks. Before that, it was just a normal shop as a cafe that every corner we have. But that was the question that the only reason that they succeeded was because they questioned their assumption that they already had. Why not only do this? Why not change it? Why not try something else? So I think it is very important if we want to succeed, because if we don't question that, we would stay like every other business is just there.
Dhruv, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Team Truth Finders, you want to ask more questions?
I would like to ask a question. Like it mentioned that introducing philosophies in the corporate culture and business improves them. So everything comes with its con. How will we deal with the challenges that comes with introducing the philosophies?
Sorry, can you elaborate on what exactly the question is?
I'm asking that if we introduce a new philosophy in a corporate culture in a business, it will come with its problems, right? Like someone not adapting to it, someone dealing, or someone struggling. So, how can we make sure that everyone is aligned to it and everyone gets the point of that?
I think any business would not come with a pre-planned thing where everybody aligns with everybody, right? So if we have an organization, if we have different people, we will have different perspectives and we will have different philosophical concepts also. They will have their own assumptions, and if we introduce something, it will challenge their assumptions also. And if we are challenging and implying something into our organization that is helping to grow the organization, it will also help the people that are working there to grow and challenge their own assumptions and have that curiosity that why are we doing this and why are not we trying to moderate, right? I mean, of course, your question is valid that it would be difficult to imply that, but it could, the better chances are that it would create a positive impact rather than the negative one, right? So I think it's right.
Anushri, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, so now we can proceed with 3 reflections. Who would like to go first? Please reflect on today's session, guys.
I would like to go first.
Right.
My first reflection will be that this was my first SD and I enjoyed it. I got to know that how we get others' perspective without debating with them, how we understand their point of view. My second reflection would be that introducing all the things that I learned today that Janvi just recently mentioned, that we can have our own perspective and we can adapt to them, adapting that in my life. And third, I'm just grateful for my team for helping me out and for the moderators and co-moderators.
Others, like we can take 2 more reflections.
Okay, I want to go for the reflection. So it was my first SD also, and I also enjoyed it very much as I got to know various aspects and various perspective of people and teams where we can use a concept of philosophy for various aspects in our life. Like we use it in our business to empower our business, enrich with different models and move with different ideas and frameworks. Like that, philosophy could be used with various aspects in life also. How to challenge some critical situations and how to overcome them. And also, I got various perspective of means various of my teammates and for the co-moderators also. And this was a great session to have.
I'm glad to hear that. One more reflection, anyone? Anyone would like to proceed with the reflection?
Yeah, I can go with the question. So I think the major thing which I learned is that philosophy helps us to ask new questions and to adapt to it. It doesn't say there is this final truth. It helps us to question that truth and to see different perspective to it. Okay, and like even in business, if you want to you know try different models. You can question the models, you can change the models as the environment evolves, adapt. I think philosophy helps in adaptability. So yeah, by applying philosophy in your business, I think it can have a really great impact.
Okay. Thanks, Darshana. It was a great